Introducing the Open Palm Podcast with host Jerome Shaw, available today on your favorite podcast platforms. The Open Palm Podcast is a positive, uplifting, motivational, and inspirational podcast. The host brings his insight and philosophy, and you can't help but gravitate towards his smile, his words, and his wisdom. Again, the podcast he hosts is titled The Open Palm Podcast. It's about inspirational messages, motivating themes, and thought-provoking ideas and topics. He'll also help you become more aware and in harmony with your own life, giving you a better understanding of your place in the world and using your skills accordingly, greeting the world with an open palm instead of a closed fist. You can find the show today on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. You can also connect with the host on Instagram at Jerome Shaw. That's JROMESHAW on Instagram. Jerome Shaw with the Open Palm Podcast. Motivation, meditation, mentality. Go listen, download, and subscribe today.
A Japanese warrior was captured by his enemies and thrown into prison. That night, he was unable to sleep because he feared that the next day he would be interrogated, tortured, and executed. Then, the words of his Zen master came to him. Tomorrow is not real. It is an illusion. The only reality is now. Heeding these words, the warrior became peaceful and fell asleep. What do you gather from this story, my friend? The story about the ever-eternal now moment. Today is a gift. That is why they call it the present. Ironically, you could be listening to this episode well into my future. But is it not still now? Often, we are dreaming of the future or dwelling on the past. But when we wake up to the present, we wake up to the gift of life. Many times, we always want to plan for the future. But we often make ourselves miserable in the present while doing so. Worrying, as I've said before on this podcast, is like a rocking chair. It doesn't really get you anywhere. It's something to do for the time being, but all you do is go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. When we tend to worry way too much about things that are beyond our control, if we can just let go, we'd be at peace with ourselves. At peace. Just like the Japanese warrior in this story, who understood that perhaps tomorrow he'd be interrogated. Perhaps tomorrow he'd be tortured. Perhaps tomorrow he'd even be executed. But tomorrow is not real. It is just an illusion. Tomorrow is not today. And the only real reality is now. For by the time we get to tomorrow, another is born. We never really get to tomorrow because there is only today. Thank you for listening, my friend. This has been Jerome Shaw on TOP, the Open Palm Podcast here in San Antonio, Texas. I pray that you received an encouraging message letting you know that the future only comes one day at a time, to take each moment in life and live it fully. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about what will happen or what may happen. No one knows what is going to happen for sure. But we know that we have right now, we have today to appreciate the best way we know how. Share this episode with a like-minded individual, learning and growing, becoming their greatest version just like you, embracing today and all that it brings. Pay it forward so more can hear the message. And if this is your very first time receiving this podcast, definitely subscribe for more inspirational messages like this. And if you feel compelled to support, consider opening your browser to anchor.fm/jshaw. Clicking that support link there is much appreciated. Thank you to all the wonderful supporters who continue to donate to the podcast. Much love to you. Making it possible for episodes like this, you are appreciated. Have a wonderful and blessed day or night wherever you are, my friend. And take care. Hey there, my friend. So you've heard about Anchor, but do you know why it's the easiest way to make a podcast? Well, first off, it's free. It allows you to use creation tools that let you record your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also distributes your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can even make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Can't wait to hear yours. Let's see what you have to offer the world.